What's going on, everyone, and welcome to Movie Therapy, where I, Chase Lee, talk to you as my therapist, the audience, about a movie I've just seen, and maybe we can just kind of discuss it, have a general conversation about it. Maybe if I'm on the fence about it, maybe I can change my mind in real time. Who knows what's going to happen? So let's talk about The Lost City. Now, this one comes from Paramount Pictures. It hits theaters this Friday. It will only be in theaters, but I think it's like a 45-day window, so we'll hit Paramount Plus in the future. But for right now, it's going to be theaters only this Friday, March 24th, 25th. It took me a while to get there, but yes. So anyways, I saw this one last night, and I didn't really have any high expectations going into it. I thought the trailers were mediocre. I like Channing Tatum quite a bit. I think he's got great comedic timing, and Sandra Bullock is just a goddess. She's been in this realm for quite some time with like romantic comedies, and her comedy chops are also perfect timing as well. So I was curious to see them pair together and what type of adventure they were going to go on. And hey, you know what? At the end of the day, I just want a fun movie. I'm not looking for anything Oscar-worthy or special. I just want a fun time at the theaters. And of course, Daniel Radcliffe as the villain. Cool. Sign me up. But then I heard reactions from South by Southwest, and people were raving about it. Like people I follow online and trust with their film criticisms, a lot of them are just like, yeah, I had fun. It's not like a perfect movie or anything, but it was an enjoyable time. So then my excitement levels kind of went up a little bit. So then I see it. I had a decent time with it. There were a lot of dead spots in the film. I saw it with a group of press members. There was a lot of jokes that just kind of landed flat, a lot of ones that kind of carried on too long, and it was interesting to see, like, in my head as I was watching, like, I was wondering, will this joke make the audience laugh, like, and bust a gut type of feeling, like, where they just lose control of themselves? Didn't happen. There were laughs sprinkled throughout the audience, but for the most part, it was a very tough film for a tough audience to just even crack one joke, at least one good joke. But when I thought something was funny, I giggled. I didn't laugh out loud, but I found some of the jokes and some of the humor to land properly. But for the most part, it felt like it was trying too hard in some spots. It felt like it was dragging on certain jokes or certain amounts of improv way too long in certain spots. But like I said, some of the jokes that actually worked, I liked. What really makes this movie is the chemistry and, of course, the back and forth of Bullock and Tatum. They play very well off of each other. They're very likable as performers, and it's really interesting to see Channing Tatum just let loose. Go back to his old 21 Jump Street days, where that this man has a bunch of jokes lined up in his head and he's just kind of spitting them out all at once. And sometimes they stick and sometimes they don't, but it fits his character. He's very nervous. He's not really confident with himself, so he's kind of very bumbly in the beginning, but that totally works for him. It works with his performance. So I thought Tatum was really fun to watch. And of course, Sandra Bullock is the straight person. She deflects a lot of his stupidity. She breaks it down with logic and stuff, and so she is the straight person, just shooting those arrows as straight as possible, while Tatum is knocking them off or whatever with his goofiness. But the yin and yang type of dynamic that they have, I think is cute. It's enjoyable. It works for this type of adventure film. And they were really fun to see on screen together. I'm just going to keep it real. Like I said, not 100% do the jokes work, but I like them together, and I want to see more. As far as the actual story goes, it was enjoyable enough. It's very straightforward. It explains what it's going to be in the beginning, and you're just on that adventure for an hour and 40 minutes or however long it is. And so there's not really a lot of change of scenery or whatever. It's just it's all stuck in, the jungle, and it's just a survival type of film. And also trying to find, a relic of sorts. And so, yeah, I thought the story was fine. It's no Indiana Jones or anything, but it does, it's nice to have a romantic comedy or a duo type of film to be set somewhere else that's not like not in a city or like on a first date or whatever. So I liked it from that standpoint. But yeah, the story's not really anything to like be like surprised about. It's very straightforward, but it's all about the entertainment of the leads carrying us all the way from start to finish. Daniel Radcliffe is very fun in this movie. I thought just letting him kind of run loose as a villain and just see the eyes bulging out or the veins popping his neck when he's like super intense and like really getting into the scene and just chewing every bit of that scene up. It was really fun to see, and I want to see him do more of this. So Daniel Radcliffe, do more films like these. Listen, you've already made enough money from the Harry Potter films. You're still going to continue to make enough money, and that's what I've liked about him and like all the other Potter kids getting their bag during that franchise, and now they're just kind of off doing whatever film or series that they want to, and they're just all random, and I love that. They're just having fun, and that's what brings me to my point is that he didn't phone it in. He was having a blast with it, and he needs to do more stuff like this. This is kind of a, I guess, comedy, slight action comedy. The action was fine. More of it is just played for laughs, so it's more like comedic violence. So some of it's kind of over the top and goofy. But yeah, it's mainly more of a comedy, slight romance in that regard, instead of more of like an adventure comedy. I guess if people were wondering. So yeah, there's really nothing more to say. I think if you are looking for a great date night movie, this film is perfect. I think you should really spend your time this weekend and go see it. You'll have a blast. I think your partner will like it too if you just want to get out of the house and do something fun. Escape the world for a couple hours and just get lost into the silly goofiness that is Tatum and Bullock and their adventure in the woods. And also, I kind of liked the character of Bullock and really kind of having this sense of grief about her and letting go and just letting the past kind of control her and not really living her life because of certain events that have happened. And there was a slight sweetness to it, and so I really like that as well. So it's not really like a huge part of the film, but it is something that lingers with her character, and I appreciate that kind of character development, if you will, and having Channing Tatum's character kind of bring that out of her. So that once again, that's why their chemistry really works, because their characters work, and they look like they're just great partners, like in the movie. So, and that really shines through. So, but yeah, that's pretty much it. If you're looking for a great little film to see on a date night this weekend, it's not a bad choice. It's not really knock your socks off funny like some people are claiming to be, but I had a decent enough time. So that is my review of The Lost City and just breaking it down and talking about it with you guys. So thank you for joining me for another movie therapy session. Thank you for listening to me as my wonderful therapist out there. Sometimes I just need to just speak incoherently and get my thoughts out, and then I'll kind of land on a conclusion if I'm having trouble discussing a film. So I appreciate you joining me on today's movie therapy. So that will do it for this session. I'm Chase Lee, and tune in next time for another one. I'll see you guys later.